during your journey. Um, in regards to the application process, it's pretty straightforward, and of course, it is a little lengthy when it comes to coming from different countries, and of course, it varies country to country. But uh, very just going over a little bit about this, and if you have any questions, again, you can reach out to Student Solutions for that. But basically, once you complete like your 10th, your high school, I would suggest to start with your, whenever you have made up your mind that, this is the time for me to now go, start with your IELTS and of course gather all the documents. Now the two important things that I want to mention in this slide is IELTS, and I had no idea about this too. IELTS has 2 years of validity, and I'm not sure if you guys are taking notes, but IELTS is valid for 2 years. So if you're planning, say for example, to come next year, I would suggest why not plan, because this is the good time, right? That we are all sitting at home to start preparing for IELTS or give your IELTS like very soon, because it would be valid for 2 years. And anyway, when you will be coming to Canada and applying for PR, you do have to give another IELTS. I know sometimes people say, oh, you don't have to give IELTS. There's a lot of different kind of rumors you hear, but you have to. It depends on different province, and every province have different rules, but you still have to give your IELTS second time when you are here. So it is a good time to start, practicing, because it's valid for 2 years. Even if you give in next couple months and you're planning to come in next year, um, one thing is already done, so you don't even have to worry about it, and then you can just get it started with all the other process. Another thing, if you are a bachelor's or a master's student, you need to have transcripts. I know now my cousin brother told me this, but I know a lot of students who were in my class when I was studying, they did not bring their transcript because they were told there's no need. There is no need during your course, like your program, but when you are doing your PR, so next couple years after that, you really need your transcript. And at that time you will probably get a hustle. Like one of my friends, she's having a hard time collecting her transcript now since she's here, and because of everything that's going on. So really make sure to get your transcripts before coming in here. Get all your documents, even if everything is done. So even say for example this whole application process is done and you're good to go, make sure you have all those documents when you are coming in here. You never know, because what's going to happen if they're just sitting there, nothing, right? It's better to have all those documents with you all the time. And of course, regarding the application process, the fee, it varies from different programs, courses. So again, you can connect with with us, and we will be able to help you with that process there. Okay. So this is interesting, and that's where I want to get started on exactly for the experience, the journey, and how it started. Now, a little bit of story. When I had no idea I was coming to Canada, and I just made up my mind that I don't want to do masters, and I just want to be independent. And that's where I thought of just going and exploring. And Canada, why? Because of course I've heard so many good things about it. My cousin was here and he said, oh, it's great. And everything is going well. People are nice. Everything is good. So some of the things that I believe we have in our mind, if we are sitting in a different country, is about studies. That it will be very easygoing. How it is right now in my country. It's not true. I'm sad to say, but it's not true. Here, the system is very different. It's very strict. I have done bachelor's, and here I was doing a postgraduate certificate, and they're two different things. And bachelor's was supposed to be more difficult, but in terms of the system here, it's really, really strict. And I'm not scaring anyone. I'm just preparing. I just want you guys to be prepared to understand, really understand what the system is. Sorry. So basically here, everything is kind of online. So even if you are in classes, you will still have everything online. Doing your assignments is online, handing your assignments is online. Everything is basically done online. So You really have to, and again, it depends on different courses. Most of the business programs have a lot of assignments, a lot of group presentations. I know a lot of engineering programs would not have that. So a lot of students sometimes they don't understand and they think, okay, it will be easy. It's just same as what I was studying. Assignments, doing assignments is easy. Well, it does require you to get organized, have some time management, and in order to complete your studies. It's not hard studies. I would say it's a different system, and that's why people get confused that, oh, studies will be different, studies will be hard. There's nothing as such as hard. It's just the system that is very different, and you really have to adapt to that system. So you have to understand how the system works. And for the first day of my class, and I still remember this, I couldn't understand what she was saying. For my professor regarding the application, my assignment, she gave the assignment to us on first day. Exactly. Here things are different in terms of doing assignments. I know so back in India, what I used to do is we used to have just one internal papers and then final papers, and that's pretty much about it. Here, you will not feel that you have final exams or you have mid exams. You will have exams throughout your semester, but it's good because you will keep learning. You're not, how sometimes you are thinking, oh, we have exams now, let's study now. It's not like that. You will be studying throughout the semester, which is good because you don't even feel you have final exams. It's kind of the same you've already done. So it is different system, but make sure you understand this and make sure to get adapted to it. In terms of friends, expectations was easy to make and reality is similar. For me, it was a little bit different. I thought that I will be having a hard time finding friends, making friends, and just in general, there was no particular reason. I had I was not clear of how am I going to start this. I guess a lot of us get scared thinking that, oh wow, it will be a foreign country, we don't know if people will talk to us. But honestly, I made friends on first day of my class, and it was so good, and it was from different cultures, different countries. And of course, there could be some kind of language barriers at the beginning, but their people are so understanding here. People understand you. They're helpful. It's really good in terms of making friends and having a nice social culture to enjoy within your program. And it's really important to have them because see, you don't have any other of your friends, your family here. So it's also important to have that social culture while you are studying or working, just to kind of relax and have someone here. So for me it was a little different. I did not thought that I will be able to make friends, but I was. And there are a lot of people within the same culture. I know some, like when I was coming in, that's a funny story. I thought I probably won't be seeing too many people from back home. They will be all Canadians, but well, it wasn't like this. My program hardly had any Canadians, so you can see. So see, it all depends on your program and what you're doing. You will find different cultures, different people, different now. This is a big thing, homesickness, and I know a lot of you probably can handle it or probably can't. But I just want to make sure that you really understand this because when you're coming here, you have to understand and you have to have a mindset that you're ready. You will be doing this on your own. You will be able to handle this on your own. You don't have family, don't have any friends from back home, and this is just you, right? Sometimes people, and when I came in, I had no one at the beginning because my cousin, he used to live in a different province and I was in Toronto. So it was very, very hard. I just had one friend from my college who helped me in first like 3 4 days. So I really felt a little bit of homesickness, but since I wasn't, I know a lot of young students are coming these days, and for them it's a little bit harder than it was for me. But again, it depends on everyone. Each person have different personalities and how they adapt to it. I adapted to this culture very soon. And that's why I was able to make friends. I did not feel homesickness. And the good thing was because I was talking to my parents almost every single day. And that's where I did not feel that. I did not feel any homesickness at the beginning. But sometimes people think it would be able to handle easily, but it because of the weather, different people, and you are in back home. You have so many people around. You'll see you won't see too many people around here. Like it's so quiet. So you might feel a little bit different. So make sure to adapt, be ready, make your mindset that it's all gonna be fine. And when you start your studies, you will not even realize how like quick time goes. It passed by so quickly. Um, Another good thing about is the communication, and I really want to talk about this because I know a lot of people think it will be difficult, and I did too. Even if like some people think they're not confident enough to talk or how they would understand Canadian English. I mean, let me just say it's easy to understand. Professors are very nice here. People, if you talk to, they're so nice, and you will be able to understand them. I know one of my professors, the first class that I did, I wasn't able to understand her, but I went to her and I just said, I did not understand your assignment at all. And you know what she said? She's like, yeah, come to my office next day. I'll be able to help you. They're so helpful. Canadians are known to be helpful. So you need to know that. I did not know that at the beginning, but you all need to know that they're so helpful. They'll be able to help you at any point of time. So even in your program, if you have any questions, make sure to communicate with your colleagues, your work classmates, your professors. They would be able to make this journey so easier for you. Some of us, I don't know, would probably don't know this, but I have seen a lot of my friends who hesitant to use these services. We are giving a lot of money, a lot of money as an international student, so you really have to understand, and you really have to make sure that you're using every penny of it, right? So make sure that you're using that money and using those services. Colleges, universities in Canada, they have so much to offer, so much, and we just know this much. I had no idea that I was paying my tuition for all these free services in my college, and they have like gym, they have so many facilities. I did not know in my first semester, but I got to know slowly and gradually, and that's where things change. So I really want you to guys to understand you're paying a lot of money. Make sure when you are coming here you understand everything. Take time, breathe and see what kind of services, what kind of things that are in within your program. It's not just your course, it's other stuff. um, Time management, and we will be talking about this in the next slide as well, where I will be going a little bit more in deeper. But people say, oh, it's easy, whatever. It's just like we're going just for a program. It's challenging, but it can be managed. If you have a good time management skill, it would be able to manage. Just because we are not used to do everything on our own in our back home, right? You're not taking care of your house, you're not doing any jobs, all you're doing is just studying. That's what I did. I don't know a lot of you are doing the same or not. That's what I did. I just used to go to my classes and that's it. I never cooked, I never did any job when I was a student, nothing. And that's how the culture is, right? So it's very different, but it's good because, and see, I wanted that. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to learn. I don't know what you guys want, but make sure that you have that thing in your mind that you will be doing everything on your own. So make sure you're ready for that. Now, in terms of job opportunities, and I've heard that a lot, like a lot from my friends, family who are back home. They say, "Oh, it's very easy to find a job in Toronto. This person have found job, or this person have found job." It's not that easy because see, a lot of population is in Toronto, and there are a lot of students. There are a lot of people who are not students. So that it's so different, and it is a little bit hard to find job than people think it is. But it really depends on your skills and what you've done or what you've learned, and that would land you a job very quickly. But again, it really depends. Uh, process, and we will be talking that about a little bit more. People say, oh, you can just do your 2-year program, and then you'll be able to apply for your PR fairly quick. It is a lengthy process. It requires time. It requires a lot of documentation, and minor details really matters. A quick example here was one of my friends who I used to work with before, and he was such a nice person. He used to help so much people in college, and he had so much experience even back home. And he applied for his PR and he got declined because I believe in his application he made an error. And it wasn't even him. He was doing it with someone and he made an error. So his application got declined and he had to go back home. And he had to apply again, but he had because he had no visa, so he had to go back home. So it is a lengthy process. It's time consuming, and you really have to understand it. It's not an easy process, and it'll take time. Okay. Um, okay. Perfect. So this is a good one, and I will be sharing some examples here. Quickly, I'm just gonna see if there's anything. Okay. I'm hoping you guys, if any have any questions, just keep putting it down, and we will be able to answer those for you. Any questions that's popping in your mind right now, like why is this happening, or why do I need to do this, or what kind of program, anything, just put it in the question answers box. um, Now I really want to emphasize on this particular portion of our presentation today. Why? Because um, people think it's easy, to have someone with you. Even if you have someone with you have to make sure that you are an independent person on your own here. And you really have to understand that you are your own boss. What does that mean? Is you really have to understand the dynamics, the culture, adaptation, so many different things. You really have to understand them and you have to learn from yourself. Okay. Me, I was very clear when I came here and when I started my journey as an international student that I really want to improve myself. So some things that I had in mind, I really wanted to improve my communication skills. I really wanted to learn more. That are the things that you need to know first before coming in, or even after you came. You have to understand what are the things that you need to do to be your own boss. Okay. Here you are independent. You have to be your own decision makers. And sometimes you'll see people, pressuring you, forcing you. It could be your friends, it could be anyone here, pressuring you to do something. Make sure you take time and think about whatever decisions you're making in your life. Um, and evaluate your resources basically means see what you have around you. And so say for example, I just wanted to give you a little bit of example here. One of my friends in my class, he and his group, they were good, they were my great friends, but I never really used to hang out with them. Why? Because for me, what I wanted was to learn. I was here to learn, and they used to tell me, oh, why are you not doing any job, or you don't need money. uh, it wasn't like that. Like, I'm not from a very, financially wealthy background, but I wanted to work. But what my parents told me is, you're going to learn. If you have a good, like, if you have a good learning, you will have a better future. If you are too more focused on your jobs, like your part-time job is just for your expenses, and that is true. Do not focus too much on those things. And so that group really helped. Like, they were forcing me. They were like, you need to find a job, this is not good. Like, and they were good friends of mine, but I'd never used to hang out with them. Why? Because I know that they would, pressurize me, or they would some way or the other, they will make change in my life, and I did not want that. So make sure you are on your own here, and no one can force you, or is can force you to do anything. You have to make your own decision. And whether if you're coming in a very young age, or whether you're coming in a little bit of different age limit, but make sure you have those resources with you. Whatever you have to understand what you want to do with your life and how that would impact. And trust me, it would impact you. If you're making some decisions today, it would impact from 3 years from now, 5 years from now. So it really helps making those decisions now. Now, time management, as I said, I would be talking, it is important. Why? Because I have seen a lot of students um, taking their time out to do some extra work, part-time jobs, and I totally understand it. Like you have to do jobs here, you do have to do jobs. You cannot live just without, studying. And I just for the very first semester, that's 4 months. So first semester is 4 months. Um, I took time to understand the culture, to adapt, and then I started the job in second semester. Okay, so I don't know, some of you might not do that, but seriously, I'm saying this why? Because understand, even if you're doing job from very first semester, please understand this is a very important stuff here. Life is very different from how it is in back home. It's so fast, it's so different. You really have to get time to organize yourself, plan, and take time for yourself. And I have ignored some of this stuff. So, say for example, I was not taking care of myself because I was too involved in doing assignments, in doing group presentations, and doing my part-time job. And it affected my health a little bit at the beginning. So, but I went to the doctor and he said, no, you really have to take care of your health. Then I started going to the gym, and then of course, then I got to know, oh, my college has a gym. So there you go. I was paying for all that money, but I did not know, oh, we have a gym where we can go. So take time out for yourself. You really have to, when you are coming in here, understanding the importance of time management is so important. If you're doing a part-time job, make sure you are taking time for your studies. If you are doing your studies, make sure you're taking time for yourself. So all these things you have to really organize and manage. So for me, what I did, Monday to Friday, if I'm studying, Saturday, Sunday, I can do a part-time job. Or I also, a good thing was for me, I started working within the college. That was a part-time job. And a lot of students who are coming in would probably also don't know. But college offers you so many part-time opportunities. And I would highly encourage you to like write that down as well, because that would be really helpful. If you're working in college, you're getting a good experience, but at the same time you will be able to manage so much of your time. Why? Because you're working within college and you're studying in college. You will get your weekend off, which is good. So yeah, managing time, planning, organizing, so important if you're coming to Canada. Stress management, uh, this is a very good one. And I want to emphasize on this, and I don't know how many of you agree with me, but I, I never thought that I would get stressful for my studies. I never thought. I thought it was easy. Like first few semesters, it went by very quick. The time goes by this. I never knew like my 2 years were completed. So time went by very quick. But the stress level keep on increasing with each semester, and not just with the programs in general. Like with your life, you think about, okay, well, um, 1 year is passed, I have another year, and then what? What about my job? What about my PR? You have so many questions in your mind, right? So the stress keeps on adding. What I started doing with it is, uh, honestly, the part-time job in my college really helped me. Why? Because we used to organize so many events in the college, and that really helped me to get out there and relax. And for any one of you out there, relaxing could be anything. It could be meditating, it could be doing yoga, going for a walk. Another good thing that I used to do, I used to go for walks, um, with my roommate, and we would just go and talk. So please understand that these things would really, I don't know how I would say this, but it would really help you get your journey more smooth. And I would, like, if someone was telling me all this before, I would have been like, wow, that's good. That's good knowledge. But I had no clue about this. and everyone have a different experience. So if I'm talking to you guys today, and if you're talking to someone maybe tomorrow, it will be different. Sorry if you hear noises. It's I guess it's a storm outside. But my windows is closed, so I apologize if you hear anything. Everyone have a different experience. So if I hear experience from my friend, everyone would have different stuff to say. For me personally, and I want you guys to understand this again, my journey was to learn, and I always go by the value of a lifelong learner. I believe in lifelong learning. You cannot stop learning in whatever age, whatever experience you are in your life right now. So for me, that was the big thing, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning to say, for example, doing this Zoom meeting. I learned something today, so everything I just understand what I'm learning, what I'm getting out of this, right? So it is a good experience. It's a good journey if you really get to know all the factors. Your stress, managing your stress is important. Make sure you plan and organize from the day one you're coming here, and time management. I always have a planner um, like this. I always like carry a planner where I always manage everything. Like I write down. I know some of you probably have phones to I don't I'm not like a more of a technical person when I'm organizing. I'm more of old school. So I write everything down in my planner that I have this today, that today. It really helps you to make, take time out for yourself and to really plan your day. So what I do is in the morning, just plan my day and go accordingly. And it is more smoother. It helps me stress down a little bit, and I'm more organized and I have that time management. Now, what's the fun part? And I know a lot of you have questions about jobs, and you're like, why is she talking so much about the other stuff? Well, that was important because if you're working, you need that. You need those skills for jobs. And I want to give you some, real examples on what I've learned and what can be done differently, or what you can do to make sure that you land in a good career path. So for jobs, I started when I started in college, and I was different than my other roommates or my colleagues. One of my classmates, as I mentioned you earlier, told me that, oh, why are you not working? Why are you doing, why are you involving in college? Like that won't give you money. I said, yes, I know that will not give me money, but that would help me in my career afterwards. So I don't want I want my expenses to be paid with a part-time job, but I really want to get experience. I really want to enjoy what I'm learning. So I started my journey as like starting doing my jobs as volunteering. And volunteering is so important if you're in Canada. Whether you are an old age man, and I'm not joking. I've seen people who are 60 years are doing volunteering stuff. I don't know if you're from different countries. I don't know how that would work, but I was not really, I did not understand the importance of volunteering until I started doing it. And that I did in my first semester. Within my first semester of my college, I was so involved within the college community. I started getting to know, oh, we have some fairs going on and they needed volunteers. So that was a really good step for me to learn, first thing. And then communication. I was talking to everyone in English all day long. I was experiencing so many different cultures, which was great. I was getting a chance to speak with so many different people and getting to know them and what college has to offer and what other stuff we have within, our college. So it was really good. Volunteering is so important here, and you never know what volunteering could do in your like your career path with your jobs. An example was, and that's a very good example. I was volunteering with college in one of the fairs, and that's where I meet Student Solution. And look here now, I was working for them, like I'm working for Student Solutions. Isn't that funny? And I've known Jasir from past 6 years almost. I've been in Canada for 6 years. So it's funny, but it's so important. The importance of volunteering, I cannot emphasize, guys. You don't know where you will land, right? So that's how I got. This was my first job, was with Student Solution as an actual job. I would say so, and I was just volunteering, and that's how you network with people like this. So volunteering, on campus, off campus jobs. There is a lot of on campus jobs, and a lot of students would not know. But I'm telling you now, and maybe you make sure to even tell other people or other students who are coming in, or even for yourself to make note that there are a lot of college jobs that you can get, and there's a lot of good experience. People here want to be in college and get that experience. It's really good on your resume. So you have to start building your resume from the day one. Now, when you are doing your resume, and so if you're applying for part-time jobs, they will see that you don't even have Canadian experience. People here need Canadian experience. So even if you have 10 years of experience back home, they don't care. They want Canadian experience. And how you can get that in? From your volunteering experience. If you're putting volunteering experience, that would be counted as your Canadian experience. So that's basically for your resume. You need to get it, get it updated. Another good thing, if you're coming in your college, every college university have a career counseling like a office. They'll be able to help you, and everything is free. That's what we don't understand, and we hesitant to go there. They're all free services. You are paying for everything. Make sure to use those services in your college, your university, wherever you're going. Make sure to use those services, because they will be able to help you with that stuff. So they will be able to help you with the resume and how you can update it. And that's how I knew at the first. How I mentioned about fairs. So that was like a job fair. I was volunteering. Um, a lot of not only college universities, but within the city, like we will, have job fairs going on. You can go onto the website and search for those options and find so many fairs that are going on. And that is a very good way to start, to understand what's in the market, what kind of jobs you're looking for. I would suggest to really start looking for those things within your next semester or so. So first semester, give some time to understand, and then second semester, third semester, try getting involved in as much as you can. Extracurricular activities, I cannot uh, weigh how much importance they have in your journey. Again, I'm going back and forth here, but I wanted to make you understand that if you have extracurricular activities in your during your program, or even in your, like, even after you graduate, you have something, some kind of activity, because that would really de-stress you. What I was involved in college, but I was also, I used to play football, soccer. I don't know. Some people say football, some here people say soccer. So I used to play soccer. Really, really do something extra. Another good thing that I used to do was I'm passionate about dancing, so I used to dance within my college career, and I used to perform within college. So do those things, because it would really help you get your journey. Because when you remember that time, you just don't want to remember your studies. Who remembers their studies? No one, right? You want to remember the good memories. You want to remember the good times you had at that time. So I don't remember my studies. No one remembers. I remember my performance that I did. I remember me playing in the ground, right? So you want to make sure you have those extracurricular activities to keep you active within your program. And honestly, that would make your program much more easier, even if it is a little bit stressful. If you have these activities, volunteering going on with you, honestly, it would make your life so much easier, and it would help you so much to finish your career. Let's change the slide. Okay, perfect. Now, changes in life. um, and again, these are some of the things that you have to start doing from the day one. You have to go out of your comfort zone. What I mean by this is, for me, say for example, um, I was as I mentioned, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. Why and how I did that? Um, First thing first, I started volunteering. I had no idea about what I was doing. I mean, like I knew my job, but I had no idea how I would be communicating. I was not confident enough. So really try to get out of your comfort zone. Don't be in the same group of people you are with day one until your 2 years or 3 years or even 1 year passes. Make sure to get out of your comfort zone. Me, from day one, I tried to make a set of different cultures friends. So I had friends from Russia, I had friends from Ukraine, I had friends from Canada, I had friends from Mexico. So different cultures coming along. Why? Because I was able to understand different cultures, one, but I was also able to understand, how they work, and we were so good in doing group presentations than I was with my friends. We had different understandings. So you really need to get outside of your comfort zone, because you know what, this would be a good challenge for you, and this would also help you to succeed much more. That's how I can say, because I've seen a lot of students, and I know a lot of students right now as well, who graduated but had no idea what to do, because they were so, like, their life was just as similar as possible as it was day one. So make sure you really go outside of your comfort zone. Do something different, challenge yourself. You will learn something. If you're failing, it's okay. You're failing for yourself, but you're learning that, and you will succeed from that, right? um, Network, I cannot emphasize that. And when you'll come here, you thank me because I'm telling you these points, because no one will tell you when you're coming here. You will have to learn. I learned all this by seeing, by meeting people. Network here has so much importance. Now, see, volunteering was one part that I was doing job, but I made a network with, Yasir or with other people, and that landed me a job. And you have to make sure you're keeping that strong connections, you're keeping your network very strong. And you have to understand, network doesn't mean just talk to any random person and you have a good network. Make sure that it is a win-win for both the parties, and you are having the right set of connections. So, say for example, if I'm a business student, I really want to get into marketing or HR or whatever field. I really wanted to understand what my field is, where I want to go in my life. So, if I'm going in HR, I have to meet HR people. I have to make connections with HR. I don't want to go to a finance, a finance person and say, like a bank person, and say, oh, like, okay, and make connections with them. I really want to, have right set of connections within the path. So understand your path, your career from day one that you're coming in, and you need to make those connections. And how you can start making those connections? Start researching on LinkedIn, start making connections on LinkedIn. Volunteer is another thing. So they're all, comes down to, they're all connected to each other. Volunteering is a good way to connect. If you're going for job fairs, that's a good way to connect. We used to go to so many events just to network. Can you imagine? In business, we have programs, and I know different business programs have different set of courses, but we had a program all semester, 4 months. It was all about networking and LinkedIn. That's how important it is in Canada. You cannot miss this out. You have to understand this. It's not just about your studies. Always remember this. You're here for studies, but at the end of the day, that's just for your knowledge. At the end of the day, you have to make sure you have good connections, you have good experience that you have with you. That would be able to land you a good career path. Mm, Coming to PR, now I wanted to talk a little bit about that process and how that works. Now, if you're taking a 1 year program, and I know a lot of you could probably know, you're getting a 1 year work permit. If you're getting 2 years of studies, you're getting 3 years of work permit. And even if you're getting 3 years of studies, you're getting 3 years of work permit. So 3 years is the maximum you can get for the work permit. And then basically you start with your PR process. Now, PR process really depends case by case. So I'm not going too much into how that would work, but it really is it's really case by case. For me, because I had my bachelor's, I did my studies here for 2 years, and I did 1 year of job. I was able to do my PR process, and I got it right away because I had good points. So it is based on point system, and so even if you go online and you search, you will be able to see it. But honestly, for me, when I came to Canada, PR was not my goal. I know a lot of students come here and have PR as their goal that, oh, we want to, of course, you came to Canada, you want to settle in. But if you're doing the right set of things throughout this journey, you will be able to settle. You will be able to get your PR. I never focused on getting my PR. I never focused on getting a job that will get my PR. I focused in improving myself, learning from my journey, networking, and that landed me a good job, and that job landed me a PR, right? And I didn't even know that that job would help me get a PR. So there are a lot of lawyers that would help you here get the PR and stuff. For me, I did my own research. I applied myself. I know some people go to lawyers, pay a lot of money for that. I would recommend doing your own research and starting and doing your own research in regards to what documents you need and start collecting those. It is a lengthy process, so I would suggest when you're and you don't have to worry about it when you're in school. When you're in school, worry about graduating, volunteering, getting a good experience, and learning. Honestly, this would really help you get where I am right now today. Um, and you need a lot of patience, and patience you need in general in regards to anything in life. So make sure you take time for that, but PR is like an end process. You don't need it right away. This is something you will get it eventually. um, you won't see a lot of people going back from Canada because they didn't get the PR. There are very few percentage that do, but if you're doing everything good, you will be able to get PR. So I hope that helps, and I hope I covered. I have so much to say. I can just go on and on for this. Um, but these are some of that I want to just talk about quickly. These are some of the universities and that Student Solution itself have partnered with. I know some people are we're very interested in engineering. Lakehead is a great university for engineering. Uh, Great universities. I've heard a lot about University of Manitoba, Confederation College. It's up north. I have so many friends from there. So we have partnered with a lot of colleges and universities. So if you need assistance, again, you can call us, contact us. But this is just to give you an idea. Um, and this is the contact details. And I believe that we are almost done. And I am open for any questions. Let's see.
First of all, thank you very much, Ravneet. It was a very informative presentation.
Oh,
In
thank
fact,
you.
quite a few things were very new to myself as well. I hope it has been very informative to the participant as well. And I can see there's quite a few questions, honestly, you have to answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to be, there are quite a few admissions related one though, but I'm going to
Okay.
be discussing the ones which is more specifically in terms of your, the networkings and the questions related to your presentation, right?
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So let me just go through questions one by one, and then of course you can elaborate a
Yeah.
bit on this one.
That's why I just saw the time and I'm like, I will just keep going and going on this. Like I have so much else to say, but time restraints.
No, but it was very informative, I must say, and it's very good for international students who are looking to come to Canada to get an
Of course.
inside view from somebody who has really moved from international students to become a PR now. So, of course, I would like to ask you one thing first as my question. How does it feel to become a permanent resident?
That's a good question. I've never asked that question. Um, Honestly, things would not change that much. Like because everything is going. I was not too much focused on my PR. I was just like studying and then working, and then I just got my PR, and I was happy that I got it, but it wasn't like, oh my god, it changed my life. So it wasn't like my life got changed or anything. It was just a little bit part of me that felt happy that okay, well, something, I it felt like I'm successful. I've done something for it, so it felt good.
Excellent. That is, of course, the first step towards your success towards your career, right? Because it gives you an opportunity to work full time now, and you
Exactly.
are able to, of course, you are able to move around different countries, and your visa process will be much more quicker.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first question regarding to is that do we have enough free time as an international student? I mean, free time in which we can do other stuff rather than course and the part-time job.
That's a good question. Uh, Honestly, it really depends on each courses. My course did not have enough free time, but you have to take time out for yourself. It could be lengthy. So, say for example, I had 7 courses in one semester, and I had each each one had presentations. We don't get a lot of homework here. There's a lot of presentations, doing a lot of assignments, that kind of stuff. So there are assignments, but again, it all comes to time management. Give yourself, say for example, 3 hours that you will be doing this assignment, 3 hours for this. Another great point I just remembered about those assignments is you'll probably find different students, and I want to say that you might find it funny, but a lot of students will say, please, can I get your assignment? Please, can I get your presentation? Because, time is passing. I need to copy it. Never, never, ever, never, ever, please give your assignments or any. It is an offense here, and it's legally an offense here. It's called plagiarism, and you don't want your assignment to be copied or to copy from someone. You cannot do that. Make sure you're doing your own stuff, and if they're your best friends, please tell them to do your own stuff, because even if you are giving them your assignments, it is an offense and you will be also caught in that. So I have dealt a few cases because I was working in college like that, and it just there's a lot of investigation and all that. So, anyways, coming back to the point, you will get a free time if you're taking time out for yourself. If you're just just doing your own work and not focusing on anything else, you won't get time. So you really have to find time for yourself or for even work.
Excellent, excellent. So the other question is, what type of part-time jobs are available for your students, like
Mhm.
only odd jobs, or students can get a job related to their own field?
Okay, that's a good question. I know there are a little different odd jobs available too, and all of us, including me, I will not say that I've only done like good jobs. There's no such thing as good jobs here. They're all the same. Like people still value you, whatever kind of jobs you're doing. I've worked in like stores. I've worked in, I've also worked in call centers. You really have to understand where you are going. If you have a mindset that you say, for example, you have to go in marketing or HR, start making those connections. You might not know you will be able to get a part-time job there. It is a little bit hard as a student, because as a student you are only limited to work 20 hours, and on work permit you're only able to work 40 hours, and that is per week that I'm saying. So part-time jobs, try to find part-time jobs that can help you. So say for example, I wouldn't mind working in a store. People say, okay, let's work in a pizza store like Domino's. Let's work. I didn't want it to go to that. Why? Because I wanted to have some different learning. So I went to a call center as my part-time job, where I improved my customer service skills. I learned so much about how people work here, so that kind of stuff. So make sure that you will be, or you might not be able to find part-time job. It all depends on your network or if you're volunteering. But if you really want to get some experience as learning part-time, I would suggest to find some office jobs or something within your field where you can have some kind of learning. So a good example here was, um, I know one of the students that I knew, he was in an engineering program, because I'm talking more of a business, so I don't know how engineering works, but he was in engineering program, and he didn't know where to start. So he just went and started talking to his seniors in the college, and they said, "Oh, we are hiring part time." Can you imagine? He got a part time job. He was just a 19-year-old student who had no experience, who was in an engineering program, and met someone, and they said, "Oh, we are hiring a student for just 15 hours," and he got a part-time job in engineering. So that's how important it is to volunteer and network. And I hope that answers the question.
Excellent. It did, Ravneet. So the other question is, which is much more related to the PR thing, and I'm
Okay.
not sure if it is related to ICCRC member, but let's try. Do voluntary jobs or do volunteering during studies helps has bonus points to our PR?
No, no. For PR, you need to have certain amount of hours that you have worked full time, or for part time. So, say for example, I worked 1 year full time from May 1st to April 30th. That is counted as 1 hour of 1 year of my work, and that is around 15, 60 hours, something. That's on the website as well, mentioned on like the website, Government Canada website. You can go there and check. So if you have worked that many hours full time, your contract needs to say full time, then you can apply for PR. Or if you were working part time, then you need to have those hours. So I believe if you're working part time in next 2 years, you will be able to get the PR. But some people would not be able to apply within a year. So say for example, I did 3 years of studies back home, 2 years of study here, right? And then I had 3 years of work permit. But since I completed my my work within 1 year, I was able to apply for my PR. Some of you who just came as a high school student, you probably don't have any bachelor's. It might take a little more while to get more points. So might take 2 years, right? So it really depends, but you need to have that many work hours, full-time work hours in order to apply for PR.
Excellent, Ravneet. Excellent explanation. Um, Okay, so now these are a little bit admission related questions. And I would suggest like these questions can be answered either through myself or you can
Yep.
email to our email address, which is mentioned on the chat box, admissions@studentsolution.co.uk.
Yep.
Um, One question is like, what is the fee structure for the postgrad program? So I will be, let me just elaborate on this. Now, postgrad
Yeah.
programs can be either postgraduate diplomas at a college level or university, or you can also say it's a master's program, right? So it varies from institution to institution, universities and colleges, and depends upon the program you are going into. So say for example, if you're going for a business related program, it may be standard fees probably around anything from 11,000 Canadian dollars to possibly 15,000 Canadian dollars. But if you're going for an MBA, for a postgrad level at a university level, it can go up to $30,000 depending upon the universities you're going into, and the university's requirement for the admission would be more demanding compared to a college. Remember, the postgrad level of a master's program are not run in a college in Canada. It's more on the university side. So it's very difficult. It's a very broad question, honestly, right? So it varies from place to place, institution to institution. And I would recommend that please do email at admissions@studentsolution.co.uk to understand the program where you're applying to, and then we can advise you um, accordingly. I hope that answers your question too. Now regarding to what's the difference between a postgrad diploma and a master's program? Again, that's like a master's program in Canada can vary from 1 year, possibly starting from 1.5 years to 2 years, depending again the program you are going into and depending upon the universities you're going into. So it's very spread across the Canada. The diploma and postgraduate program is 1 year specifically. Now, if you go to any particular program, any particular college or university, the length of the postgraduate diploma is almost the same. So, so these are the two different things, of course. But do you want to highlight anything in your experience, Ravneet, like in terms of the PR?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to mention one when you were saying about the programs, a very good thing that I remembered when I was searching and when I was coming here, and I didn't knew the difference between the diploma. I knew the difference between a diploma, but it was different in regards to it because in colleges they don't say master's program, they will say postgraduate. So if you have a bachelor's only, then you will be able to do postgraduate. It calls certificate, but I've seen a lot of students who did not understand and who had even a master's degree and came here and took a diploma program, and that will, like, your points in PR will go a little bit down for that. So make sure if you have like bachelor's or master's program, you go for like either masters, or like in universities or within colleges, go for like a postgraduate program rather than taking diploma programs. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so a couple of more questions. It says, I have a 9 years work experience in IT networking with bachelor's education. Wanted to go for a postgrad to Canada before I apply for PR. Could you
Mhm.
please suggest a course for me? I would say this is more or less, I would say if you send us an email at admissions ID, it will be more, I would say, options available with kind of experience and education you have. It's difficult to say what program would be best in terms of, your experience and education and the job market in Canada. I would say it's more about the personal interest and the experience, kind of experience you have, like in which related field you had the experience in. So please do
Okay.
contact admission at studentsolution.co.uk, and we will be able to get you more advice on that.
Yeah, so just to quickly mention, I highly recommend reaching out to Student Solutions on this too, because I've seen a like similar to your case for experience. In my course, I had two students who had 15 years of experience, who had a master's degree, but they were just studying and having some kind of a Canadian knowledge and understanding. So it really depends on which program or where you want to land into. Even if you had like an IT course or program, maybe you want to learn something regarding business or anything like that. So I would suggest to connect with them, because it really depends on what kind of market you're planning to go into and if you need experience for that. Like I've seen people doing project management or business management just to brush up their skills for business courses.
And I would like you to answer on this one. It's a very specific question for Student Solution. Says, why to choose Student Solution over any other companies?
Okay. Well, there are a lot of companies, and as I mentioned before, like some of them are not even ICCRC members. So, Student Solution is one of them. Along with that, like they had experience not just Canada, like even for UK, sending people from Canada to UK, and I've done so many fairs, and a lot of people don't understand this, but say for example for me, when I was in India, I was told that the college that I was going into is in suburbs. But when I came here, it is a whole big city. I was in Toronto, and I was told that I will be living in a countryside. That's how kind of the college is in. But it was not the case at all. So we do have, like, Student Solution have this kind of experience because we have the exposure. They're Canadian citizens. They're working here from a long, long time. I believe it's more 18 years or so. So they have that experience that could help you. And of course, they are like registered and everything. So it really makes that process easier for you.
So I would like to add one thing here, that we basically have the connections or with the ICCRC regulated members. So we are more specialized on the admission side of it rather than immigration or processing the immigration applications. So what it means is that we are looking and we are helping students for admission related inquiries predominantly. So we are connected with the local ICCRC companies, and what it helps is that they are regulated consultants monitored by the Canadian government in terms of immigration advice they are making. So what it means is if a student comes to us, when we basically help them in admission processes and making, do a student counseling and stuff, and at the end when they are looking to change their student permit to make a work permit thing, or making a application for immigration, for example, or if they're applying for a study permit too, we recommend to the partnered or peoples who are ICCRC member. That really helps in order to make your application error free. So this is what the specifically thing is. Again, coming back to the point that the student solution is about making sure that you are getting the right tip and advice on admission side. And it's not just about, as Ravneet mentioned, that yes, you have to come to a project management program because it's open to a certain college. We make sure that you are basically going to certain programs which is open, but at the same time will be value added in your career too. So that is what the thing is. And of course, the value, another question just came up in terms of hiring a student solution in terms, yeah, I mean, you're correct in terms of the working experience. But the most value added thing is that you are getting real-time experiences from the peoples who are actually working, have either worked in Canada or been citizen here or have lived in here. So what it means, like people like Ravneet, for example, right? And there are people like Jose and people like Odette, different communities who have, like they are from Mexico and Bolivia and other places too. So you as an international students really get the real taste of the experience, sharing from the peoples who actually been an international student here, but at the same time, we have like expertise in who have been working here like for 10 years or 12 years too. So it's a kind of a mixed combination, and it really helps the students to understand. Like, I mean, for example, for the presentation what Ravneet have given, we will be doing this next week as well. So how many times you see an international students been sharing their experiences online with the peoples like internationals who are looking to apply Canada, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, because I've never seen someone doing it. So you're actually like getting that real example and experience and get to understand like what really is when you come here than what you think.
Excellent. So I think we are done with the question answers here, Ravneet. Somebody was asking for your LinkedIn ID as well. I think they are so much impressed with your presentation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, feel free to first email us, and of course, once Ravneet is definitely once she's able to share her LinkedIn ID, she will do that. But that was an unexpected question, anyways.
Yeah. You can
So
contact us. We'll be able to answer those questions, and the email is given to them, right? Yeah.
perfect. So again, the email address is admissions@studentsolution.co.uk. You can check our website on studentsolution.co.uk, and the link and the screen which is shared right now, it has all the details, and WhatsApp is the most easiest one to contact. But thank you very much, Ravneet. It's been a pleasure having you presenting the ideas and your experience to potential clients. Hopefully you will be, and hopefully people have got a benefit from this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I hope if you're more interested or have questions, come in next week too.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Take care.
Take care. Bye.